There's a level of discipline that makes people fear you, not respect you, fear you. And today you're going to discover exactly how to reach it. You've seen them. That person who never breaks, who shows up every single day at the same time, does the same things and never stops. While everyone else quits by week 3, they're still going. While everyone else drowns in excuses, they just appear. And you know what people whisper about them? That's not human. There's a system forged in the darkest corners of human willpower that creates exactly this kind of terrifying consistency, the kind that makes people uncomfortable just watching you exist. It's called the Perpetual Protocol, and once you understand how it operates, you'll never break another goal again. But here's the catch. This system isn't for everyone. It requires you to murder a version of yourself you didn't even know was still breathing. And most people, they're too weak to pull that trigger. But before I show you the architecture of unbreakable discipline, smash that subscribe button, destroy the like, and drop a comment telling me the one habit you're going to dominate using this system. This tells me you're serious about transformation, not just entertainment. Let's descend. The story I'm about to tell you is about a software engineer named Marcus. Smart guy, 6-figure salary, successful by every external metric. But he had one devastating problem. He couldn't maintain a single habit for more than 14 days. Not one. Gym, 3 months, then ghost mode. Reading, buy the book, read 5 pages. Buried under laundry forever. Meditation, 1 week of headspace, then radio silence. The pattern was always identical. Monday, nuclear motivation, ready to conquer the world. Wednesday, first mental negotiation. Maybe I can skip today. Friday, complete collapse. I'll start fresh next week. Sunday, empty promises about the upcoming Monday. Marcus tried everything modern productivity culture sold him. Habit trackers, reward systems, accountability partners, motivational podcasts at 2x speed. Nothing worked. Because he was fighting an enemy he couldn't even see. The neural architecture of his own brain, designed specifically to keep him average. Until the day he discovered why certain people can maintain discipline for years without missing a single day. And no, it's not willpower. It's something far more primal, something far more brutal. Let me tell you something that will fundamentally change how you see commitment. Your brain categorizes every promise you make into 2 boxes: reversible or irreversible. Reversible commitments become mental negotiations. Should I? Shouldn't I? What if I don't? Maybe tomorrow. Irreversible commitments simply happen. Think about it. You don't negotiate whether to breathe. You don't have an internal debate about whether your heart should beat today. These aren't choices. They're automatic systems. But here's what changes everything. Your brain can't tell the difference between biological necessity and psychological identity. When you fundamentally change your identity, not your behavior, but your identity, your brain treats that new self like a survival mechanism. There's a researcher at Johns Hopkins who spent 17 years studying habit formation. She discovered something that destroyed everything we thought we knew about willpower. When you make a behavior public, when you declare it in front of witnesses, your primitive brain interprets failure as a status death. Our ancestors who lost status in their tribe didn't just feel embarrassed, they died. Literally. Expelled from the group meant death by predators, starvation, or exposure. Your brain still operates on that ancient operating system. Social death, actual death. This is the lever that people who never quit have learned to pull. Marcus stopped making private promises. He stopped telling himself he'd try to meditate. He made a public execution of his old identity. He wrote on paper, "I am a man who trains at 5 a.m. every single day for 90 consecutive days. No exceptions. No negotiations." He signed it, dated it, posted it on every social platform, told his girlfriend, told his co-workers, told his family. His girlfriend said, "You're being dramatic." His co-workers laughed. "Bro, you're trying way too hard." Perfect. Every person who knew became fuel for the fire. Day 3 arrived, the first real test. 5 a.m., alarm screaming. His mind immediately began its familiar routine. "You're exhausted. This is unhealthy. One day won't hurt. You need rest more than discipline." But something fundamental had shifted. The thought of posting online that he'd quit after 72 hours was unbearable. The thought of looking his girlfriend in the face and admitting he was just another guy who couldn't deliver was worse than the pain of getting up. The public declaration had made quitting more painful than continuing. This is the first pillar of the Perpetual Protocol: identity execution. You don't modify your behavior. You execute your old identity and resurrect a new one in front of witnesses. But Marcus was about to face something worse than motivation loss. He was about to face his own biology. Even with every person he knew watching, Marcus still fought a war every single morning. His body didn't care about his reputation. It wanted sleep when it was tired. It wanted comfort when training was hard. The public declaration had ended the negotiation, but he was still burning willpower daily. That's when he discovered the second pillar, the time lock. Here's what's destroying your consistency right now. Every single day you waste mental energy asking the same stupid question. When should I do this? Morning or evening? Before breakfast or after? Before work or after work? Now or later? This decision burns glucose in your prefrontal cortex, the exact fuel you need for the actual practice. You're wasting gas deciding when to drive instead of actually driving. Marcus chose 5 a.m., not because he was a morning person, not because he loved sunrises and bird sounds. He chose 5 a.m. because the world was asleep. No texts, no emails, no excuses, no external variables. The time wasn't about optimization. It was about elimination. Eliminating every possible reason to do it later. First week, hell, pure hell. His body fought every morning like he was asking it to jump into fire. That's normal. Your body is a pattern recognition machine, and you're forcing it to build a new pattern. It resists because change feels like danger. Second week, something shifted. He started waking up 2 minutes before the alarm. His body was preparing for what it now knew was coming. Day 14. The alarm rang and his feet hit the floor before his conscious mind even engaged. No thought, no decision, just movement. Here's what most people don't understand about fixed schedules. It's not about finding the perfect time. It's about removing time as a variable. When you do something at different times every day, you're forcing your brain to make a new decision every time. That decision costs willpower. When the schedule is locked, your brain can't argue with a constant. 5 a.m. isn't a suggestion. It's not flexible. It's a law of physics. But Marcus discovered a new problem. His schedule was fixed, but he kept changing what he did during that time. Some mornings felt right for cardio. Other days, weights. Sometimes stretching felt better. His brain had found a new negotiation point. Instead of arguing about when, it started arguing about what. The 5 a.m. was reliable, but the practice itself was chaos. He'd eliminated the when, but not the what. And this is where the third pillar becomes critical and controversial, because it requires you to do the exact same thing every single day until your mind completely surrenders. You think variety keeps you engaged, but changing things up prevents boredom. But variety is actually where consistency goes to die. Every time you change what you're doing, your brain has to make micro decisions. Should I do squats or lunges, bench press or push-ups, 10 reps or 20, hit or steady state? Every tiny decision is a crack where your old patterns seep back in. Marcus completely locked down the sequence. 50 push-ups, 10 minutes shadow boxing, 10 minutes reading, same order, same duration, same movements. 90 days of identical practice. His friends called him a robot. His girlfriend said he was losing his personality. They didn't understand that robotic was exactly the point. Week 3, his mind went to war. Every morning it screamed for variety. This is stupid. You're not a machine. Mix it up or you'll burn out. This is unhealthy. Week 4, something broke. Not his discipline, his resistance. The voice of negotiation got quieter. Week 6, he was halfway through his push-ups before he even realized he'd started. Practice was moving itself. This is what people don't understand about consistency. It's not about willpower lasting forever. It's about repetition until willpower is no longer required. Your body learns the sequence like a pianist learns scales. Eventually, your fingers move before your mind thinks. There's a neuroscientist at Duke who studied behavioral automatization for over a decade. She explains, when you repeat an action in the same context for approximately 66 days, the basal ganglia, the habit center of your brain, takes over. The behavior becomes automatic. You're no longer deciding to do it. You're simply doing it. Day 35. Marcus caught the flu. Day 40. He was traveling for work, sleeping 4 hours a night. This is where the old pattern kicks in. Sick day, rest day. Travel exception. Stress pause. This is where you quit before, where everyone quits. Because perfect practice requires perfect conditions. And perfect conditions don't exist. But Marcus understood something that changes everything. Practice doesn't require perfection. It requires continuity. The all-or-nothing mentality has killed more consistency than laziness ever could. You tell yourself, if I can't do the full hour, why bother? If I can't do it perfectly, I'll wait for tomorrow. This thinking creates gaps, and the gaps are where your old self crawls back in and takes control again. Look at any elite athlete, any special forces operator, any person operating at the highest level. They have rest days, but those rest days are strategic, planned, intentional. Never because they don't feel like it, never because they're too tired. A rest day allows them to perform better tomorrow. It's still movement toward the goal. But when you skip because you're lazy, that's not rest. That's retreat. A river never stops flowing. During a drought, it might slow to a trickle, but it never stops. The moment it stops, it's no longer a river. It's just dirt where water used to be. Your practice is the same. The moment you create a gap, you're not practicing. You're someone who used to practice. Travel day arrived, day 40. Airport at 4 a.m. Back-to-back meetings until midnight. No gym at the hotel. Marcus did push-ups in the airport bathroom. People stared like he'd lost his mind. Good. He shadowboxed in the hotel stairwell at 11:30 p.m. He read 3 pages on the plane while everyone slept. Nothing was perfect. Everything maintained momentum toward the same goal he declared 90 days ago. This is the 4th pillar, the unbroken chain. Practice perpetuating itself. People started noticing. Coworkers said he seemed different. Friends said he was obsessed. Someone actually told him his discipline wasn't healthy, that normal people don't act like this. When you hear these words, you know you're on the right path. Normal people get normal results. You're not trying to be normal, you're trying to be unstoppable. But here's what no one warns you about. The obstacles you never saw coming. Your kid gets sick. Your car breaks down. Your boss demands overtime. These are consistency killers, not because they're insurmountable, but because you haven't pre-decided how to handle them. Every time an unexpected obstacle appears, you have to make a decision under stress. And in that moment of chaos, you'll always choose the path of least resistance. The obstacle wins because you're fighting a battle you didn't prepare for. Elite military units don't make decisions in combat. The decision was already made in training. When X happens, we do Y. No thinking, no hesitation, just execution. Marcus wrote down every single obstacle that had ever broken his consistency and pre-solved each one. Raining, push-ups in the garage, guests staying over, silent workout in the bathroom, hangover, which shouldn't happen, but if it does. 2 push-ups, 1 minute shadow boxing, 1 page of reading. Each scenario had its predetermined response. When X happens, I do Y. No thinking, no negotiating, just execution. The power of this isn't just maintaining the chain. It's that you stop wasting mental energy on decisions. Your brain knows that no matter what happens tomorrow, the practice continues. This certainty changes your entire nervous system. There's a behavioral psychologist at Stanford who studied decision-making for 18 years. His research found when you pre-decide your actions, you remove decision fatigue from the critical moment. Your prefrontal cortex, responsible for willpower, remains intact to execute, rather than decide. This is the 5th pillar, the pre-battle. You don't react to obstacles. You've already won the fight before it starts. Day 70 arrived. Marcus's practice had become completely automatic. He'd sometimes finish his push-ups without remembering doing them. His body moved through the sequence like a programmed machine. His girlfriend's mother visited for 2 weeks. He did push-ups in the bathroom at 5 a.m. while everyone slept. The practice continued because the answers were already written. Day 90. He completed his 90-day execution. 3 months of uninterrupted practice. But something deeper had happened. He wasn't the same person anymore. Friends literally told him, "Your consistency is scary." His response was perfect. Good. Because when your discipline makes others uncomfortable, you're finally operating at the right level. Your existence proves that everything they say is impossible is just uncomfortable. That's why they call you obsessed. That's why they say you need balance. They need you to slow down so they can feel better about standing still. But you're not doing this for them. You're doing this because you've discovered the secret. Consistency is doing something every day, about becoming someone who can't not do it. When you implement the Perpetual Protocol, 1. Identity, execution, public declaration that makes quitting more painful than continuing. 2. The time-locked fixed schedule that eliminates negotiation. 3. The iron sequence identical practice until automation. 4. The unbroken chain continuity over perfection. 5. The pre-battle, pre-solved obstacles that eliminate decision-making. You're not just building habits. You're reconstructing your identity at the neurological level. You stop being someone who tries and become someone who is. And when that transformation completes, people will look at you and whisper, "How does he do that?" And the answer will be simple. He doesn't. He is. So here's what I need to know. Are you ready for this level of transformation? Because this isn't about discipline. This is about death and rebirth. The death of your inconsistent self. The birth of your unbreakable self. The Perpetual Protocol won't make you a better person. It'll make you a different person. Someone others will look at and think, "That's not normal." And when you hear those words, you'll know you've finally arrived. Here's your mission. Subscribe to this channel right now, not later, now. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next level of transformation that's coming. And drop a comment below with your public declaration. Tell me exactly what habit you're executing with the Perpetual Protocol. Make it public. Make it painful to quit. Because here's the truth most people won't tell you. The consistency that scares others is the only consistency worth having. If you made it this far, you're different. You're not here for motivation that fades by Tuesday. You're here for a system that rebuilds you from the inside out. The Perpetual Protocol is active. Your 90-day execution starts now. No exceptions. No negotiations. No gaps. See you in the next transmission. Now go become the person that makes others uncomfortable just by existing.